And hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Dyson Sphere Program. I'm Zeofate, and today, there's going to be a little bit of a tour as to what I've been doing. So, very first thing is I'm slowly going through and taking apart what's going on down here on the first starter planet, because it's no longer really needed. And I'm redirecting all the resources into interstellar logistic stations. So, that should hopefully help out a little bit. I've been going and capturing water and oil because everything's going to be getting moved to our other world. Now, one of the things I did discover, which kind of surprised me that I didn't know about it beforehand, get that way, is you can actually hit that little arrow indicator and it'll give you a pathing, which then shows up in the world. And this makes it a lot easier to navigate around. And as we come up along here, I have a rather large amount of planetary logistic stations already built. And a lot of these are to build me things like the miners and everything else. But don't really quite have production up to full ramp just yet. It's mostly just been focusing on getting bits and pieces done and so I can work. And anytime I've encountered resources, I've just put another station down and worked from there. But this at least makes it so that I have a rather large amount of all the high-level sorters and everything else like this now. And how are you doing? I need to increase you. So what I've done I'll actually show you how I manipulated a lot of these things, because there's three basic types. This one is, it's more straightforward. It's 2 inputs and 1 output, so no real big issue. Okay, let's just get that copied. Okay. I've got a central line feeding back into the planetary logistics grid. And I got the resources flowing along the outer line. Now there are some that this won't work for, and I'll actually show you the various different setups that I currently have that I've needed to work with. But first, let's get this fully up and running, because this is a harsh bottleneck at the moment. There we go, that'll get things going a little bit faster. Okay, your bottleneck is iron. And let's see, you're running full tilt. So I need to expand you some more as well. Now, there are probably, there's no probably about it. There are better designs for this out there. but this is just what I came up with as I was working around. I decided to do the planetary logistics grids versus, or sorry, the interstellar logistic grids versus the planetary ones in order to, so that, well, anytime I go to a new planet, got all the resources. I can just bring a couple of these with me and build whatever I need to. Once you get your pattern sorted out, this goes together pretty quickly. Copy you and just get you pasted. Now that that's running, I may have to expand this a little bit. Maybe an outer line with another draw through. Yeah, that could work, but I'll do that off camera. So we've got basically our various different ingredients as we go up along, getting crafted. Given not in great severe amounts at the moment, but I already explained why. I was mainly focusing on getting everything up and running. And let's see here. Yeah, here's another setup. This one, this requires 3 separate ingredients to make the one item. So I had the 3 ingredients coming out just directly center, and this one's a little tricky because you need to, rather than having it exactly opposite from each other, you actually need to tick it down one. You need to do this so that you can put the, can't even remember what those are called right now. The sorters. Oop. You need to do it this way to get the sorters so that they can reach all the different ingredients for each of them. And it actually pretty much takes up the entirety of the grid. So there's the second type. The third type, when I find it, some of them, like this one, you don't really need a large amount. And I need to work on the graphene, but that's upcoming. Alright, here's another type. These require 4 resources. So what I did is I have 2 resources coming in from the center and 2 from the exterior, feeds them, and then 1 line for the return into the station. And I can copy this out onto this side as well if I need to. Oh boy. Why are you not sending the iron? Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, iron's been a rather large bottleneck for mine. But that's pretty much the way everything gets set up. Is eventually they'll all look like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this for quite literally everything. Every single component and every single building. Because then, well, then I've got a large supply of them. Although research, I'm still figuring out how I'm going to pull that one off. So to that end, I'll show you setting up a couple of these because really it's going to take me a couple of days from this point to get everything else up and running. Okay, I've got the miners there. Okay, so what I usually do is I'm coming in here and it's, okay, well, what do I need? Well, water I don't think I'm really going to need too much. Oil refinery. That's going to turn it into oil and hydrogen. Yeah, let's get this one. So cancel that. And what I'll usually do is I'll look here and go, okay, I need those. I need those. I know I need those. And I know there's a fourth, but I just can't remember what it is. Circuit boards. There. I'll have the resources coming into here on the top. And I still have my original setup up here that's making all the interstellar logistics stations, the drones, and the interstellar transports. Okay, so that's another 4 in 1. So let's get the oil refinery set up. And I usually will come out, I try to come out a couple, usually about 3 chunks. And a chunk is a 4x4 here. And let's go. I usually just go a short distance out first because, well, I can set it up to go longer in a little bit. And that line there, extend that out. Nope. That's our return line going in. So now I need to start getting some of our assembly in. Let's get you there, you there. Two'll be good for now. Get our outputs in place. 2 of our inputs. Doesn't really matter what order they're in for this one. And now we got 2 other materials we need. Oops. So we'll get that one flowing to there. And we'll get that one flowing to there. Okay. Now I just need to set this guy to our oil refinery and power it up. Now I usually, for back here on these stations, I'll usually just chuck the power nodes just off to the side so they can charge, and it keeps the sides free for if I need to start pulling stuff. Another thing is these stations get centered right there. This seems to be a little bit of better layout. At least for me anyways. But that's basically what goes on. So I'm going to pause recording here and I'll be back, given this is probably going to admittedly be a couple of days from now. But I'll be back so that, well, I'll have all the base infrastructure done and we can start getting into the new stuff rather than you sitting here for hours on end watching me do this. So, till then.